Clay Collins is going to answer your questions.
There it is, there it is. That
is it. So if I were going to build my list from 0 to 1,000 from scratch and I didn't have money, I probably wouldn't attempt to spend money on advertising and stuff because it's cold traffic, you don't have a relationship with them. I think what I'd start doing is building a blog. So I'd probably get a blog at a URL that was my name. A lot of times when people start blogging, they'll come up with some cute name or some concept like, the art of growing or, exploringyourpotential.com, or they'll do something like that. And I think people who do that quickly find that the blog name that they've selected, that they outgrow it very quickly and they're not happy with it. With that blog that's at your domain name, you can name that blog and you can change that blog without changing the URL, right? So if you start out as sort of the art of living and you switch to going deeper, right, as the name of your blog, it doesn't change the URLs and you don't have to do a bunch of stuff around that. So I'd start blogging and I would try and attract an audience, 3 people at a time. So when I first started blogging, I just wanted to get 3 subscribers per day. And it started out with my family. I'd ask family and friends to subscribe. And I just hustle for 3 subscribers every single day. Sometimes I'd go into forums. Sometimes I'd post comments to other blogs. I'd try and be the first commenter. And I would leave a valuable comment and link back to my blog and ask people to subscribe. Another thing I did to hustle for subscribers was I asked every single person who commented on my blog, I would email them personally and ask them to subscribe to my blog. And slowly but surely, this flywheel of passionate, engaged readers emerged. But I frankly had to slog it out, and it took a long time. But what this allowed me to do is become really sensitive to what kind of content worked and what kind of content didn't. Sometimes I'd find that a given blog post would get a lot of tweets and retweets and Facebook shares, but wouldn't get any comments and wouldn't get a lot of opt-ins. Other times I'd get a ton of comments and a ton of opt-ins, but people wouldn't share things. Other times, across the board, things would work. Other times, things didn't. And I got to learn what kinds of calls to action, what types of messages, what types of articles elicited different kinds of responses. For example, I can tell you now what kind of blog post gets no shares, no comments, but gets a lot of people to go off and buy your thing. And so you start just getting intimately aware with how your audience responds to content. And you start treating, and I would advise you to start treating every single blog post as its own product launch, right? Its own content launch. And once you get to this point, I think you have a real foundation for creating a flywheel that can grow your audience from 0 to 1,000. So it took me about 3 months to get from 0 to 4,000 email subscribers, and it was a full-time job, and I really can't think of a shortcut to that. There's lots of courses and programs promising you the moon, but at the end of the day, I think knowing how to hustle from the trenches and grow that audience from scratch is one of the most valuable marketing educations available to you today, and I think it's the #1 way to learn how to grow a business.